Just look at this scoundrel. He shamelessly provokes his opponent. Just look at what this scoundrel is doing. The moment his rival turns his back, this rat cowardly kicks from behind.
There is a moment in combat sports that transcends the ordinary chaos of punches and kicks, a moment when the universe seems to tilt on its axis and deliver judgment with brutal precision. It's the instant when arrogance meets retribution, when disrespect becomes reality, and when the bravado of the unworthy is answered not by words, but by force. This is a story not about champions or legends, but about cockiness, that blind confidence that tells a fighter he is untouchable, that his opponent is beneath him, that rules and respect are optional. And with every such misguided soul, there comes a night of brutal consequences. The first tale begins with a fighter whose behavior before the match spoke of disdain rather than respect. As his rival turned his back, this man did something none of the spectators expected. Rather than show sportsmanship, he seized the moment in an act of cowardice, delivering a kick from behind, a cheap, sneaky blow that was a blight on the sport itself. In the crowd's eyes, he became a rat, a dirty competitor imposing filth before the official contest had even begun. This man was Tamar Farovi, infamous among those who know the underground circuits for his endless cheap tricks and blatant disregard for honor. His arrogance had no limits, and he believed he could bully his way into victory simply by intimidation and underhanded tactics. His opponent was an Iranian underdog, a man with little to lose and everything to prove. Calm in the face of blatant disrespect, he absorbed the cowardly kick, and instead of crumbling, he stood his ground when the bell rang. The fight began not with ceremony, but with a desperate rush, Farovi charging like a feral beast, intent on crushing his rival with sheer steroid-induced weight and force. He landed an early takedown, attempting to choke the underdog into submission. Yet, what he met was an unbreakable spirit. The Iranian fighter refused to succumb to cheap tactics or dirty maneuvers. He struggled, breathed, and fought for his honor. In a visceral turn of events, the underdog seized control. He dragged his opponent to the canvas and began to expose the rat's flaws with powerful strikes, every punch a retort to the insults heaped upon him before the match. This was not just a fight, it was a reckoning. Bit by bit, the arrogant man was dismantled, punished not only for his physical assaults, but for the contempt he exhibited in the lead-up. He was overwhelmed and beaten not just by technique, but by dignity. His cheap reputation, forged in disrespect, was destroyed in a flurry of decisive justice. Not all fighters who fall into the pit of arrogance begin with a dirty move. Some speak without backing it up, believing their words to be greater than steel. Consider the young kickboxing prodigy Bod Hari, a name once spoken with reverence for his knockout streak and meteoric rise. Success had intoxicated him, and he began to carry himself with a swagger that bordered on contempt. When faced with a seasoned veteran like Peter Graham, he sneered rather than saluted, refusing a handshake and even mocking his older rival. Calling Graham old and irrelevant was not just disrespect, it was an invitation to humiliation. In the cage, Hari's confidence was audacious. He even landed a straight shot to the groin, a foul so egregious that it should have ended the fight then and there. The crowd watched in disbelief as he crossed every line with brazen disregard for sportsmanship. But such foul play awakens something primordial in a true fighter. Graham, a veteran whose career was defined by respect and ferocity, had enough. He took the bait, the challenge, and turned it into a brutal lesson. Where Hari expected surrender, he found resistance. And where he thought himself untouchable, he was met with a thunderous knockout, a moment of instant karma that would immortalize him not for arrogance, but for being the architect of his own downfall. His vanity was shattered by the very skill he believed he outclassed. Then there was the face-off that should have ended any doubt about intentions. A shameless provocateur shoved his humble opponent in a moment that belonged to respect. This was not bravado, it was contempt. Yet the man pushed had seen such behavior before and met it not with retaliation, but with a level gaze and a smile that belied an inner fire. When the bell rang, he responded not with mockery, but with a disciplined onslaught that exposed every clumsy attempt at cheap shots. His foe, dressed in MMA garb but lacking the heart of a warrior, swung wildly and fell repeatedly, each face plant a testament to his folly. The bout became a classic example of how humility and discipline can dismantle arrogance. The modest French fighter, calm and composed, defended every takedown attempt with ice-cold precision. Then, when the moment was right, he punished the cocky clown with punishing strikes that resonated far beyond the ring. Every blow was an answer to the disrespect shown before the fight began. Not all arrogant competitors wait until the ring. Some carry their entitlement into the weigh-in room. A towering giant, pumped beyond sense and drenched in self-confidence, made the fatal mistake of slapping his opponent's face during the official weigh-in. A gesture so brazen it could only invite retaliation. His opponent, a Cuban warrior of stoic temperament, did not flinch. Instead, he accepted the challenge. When the bell rang, the inflated ego of the giant led him to drop his guard, believing himself untouchable. Yet, as in so many documented moments of instant karma in combat sports, taunts and arrogance dissolve into nothing when met with a precise punch. The cocky heavyweight's confidence was shattered in a brutal lesson about humility and respect. Another chapter in this annals of instant karma involved a bully who ignored every gesture of sportsmanship. When his opponent extended a respectful handshake, he instead mocked the gesture, sneering and stepping away with contempt. In the ensuing fight, he backed up his insolence with a cheap strike that stunned his rival but did little else. Yet the pride of the Brazilian competitor was not easily broken. He endured, weathered the cheap tricks, and watched as his opponent's tactics fell apart. When the time came to answer disrespect with force, the humble fighter did so with clinical precision, a calculated onslaught that disassembled the clown's game and left him begging for mercy. Every second of that fight was a lesson in why respect matters in combat. Force without honor is fleeting, and arrogance without skills is destined for humiliation. The pattern repeats time and again. The cocky steroid-pumped contender whose oversized muscles mask a fragile soul. The showboater who ignores traditional rituals of respect and finds himself face down on the canvas. The fighter who believes that disrespect can be weaponized, only to be shown that technique and heart endure where arrogance collapses. The world of combat sports, whether boxing or MMA, is littered with tales of fighters who thought themselves above the code of honor, only to discover that the code answers back with fists and feet. One need only browse through history to find examples of ego meeting reality. Fighters who taunt, who drop their guard from overconfidence, or who entertain the crowd with unnecessary showboating often find themselves on the receiving end of a sudden, devastating knockout. Instant karma in combat sports is not a myth. It's a pattern seen again and again whenever someone underestimates the power of respect and overestimates the durability of pride. And so each of these bouts serves not merely as entertainment, but as a cautionary tale. The fighters who act with dishonor, who mock tradition, who treat respect as optional, they often discover that the ring is a place where words are answered with violence, and where arrogance is repaid in hard, unyielding steel. You've watched them fall, seen their smirks replaced with grimaces, their confidence crumple into disbelief. These are the moments of instant karma that make combat sports unforgettable. The ring is not just a battleground for physical dominance, but a crucible for character. And those who walk in with contempt learn, often too late, that respect is the foundation upon which true warriors stand. If you enjoyed reliving these jaw-dropping moments of cockiness meeting consequence, tell us in the comments which fighter's downfall surprised you the most. Did any of these instant karma knockouts make you rethink the way you approach respect in a ring? Drop your thoughts below, and be sure to like and subscribe for more epic stories from the world of combat sports, where legends are made and egos are broken.